This is the beautiful Brooklyn Bridge, well known for many years as like a place where people just love to go to walk along, connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn. And it's on a very nice day, it's very enjoyable just going along there. And you can see how the beautiful ships just love to come right underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's one of the oldest bridges in the country, one of the oldest long expansion bridges, which is nice too, because it's very enjoyable seeing that. And especially walking across the Brooklyn Bridge is really fun also. And it's only about 20 minutes to walk across it. And on a nice day, you'll have many, many people choosing to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge versus to take the subway to Manhattan. You can see here one of the examples of a ship coming into dock, you know, right after having gone under the Brooklyn Bridge, and a lot of people really like that. There we go. See the beautiful ship and ships, you know, like a chance to take a good view of the Brooklyn Bridge as it is, you know, how lovely it is, how old it is. So a lot of times in the past, people just love to walk across it, and even now they still love to walk across it. And it makes for a very easy transportation from Manhattan to Brooklyn. And there are other bridges in the area too. So, and the bridge in the distance was a bridge that they weren't repairing in the city of New York for a number of years, because one of the problems in any big city is you have to figure out what to do with all the money that you have. And so a lot of times in New York City in the 70s and 80s, they chose to not make capital expenses and capital repairs. So what ended up happening is they had to shut that bridge down, the bridge in the background, for 2 years to do extensive renovations, because they had basically deferred maintenance for a number of years. So, but that is a problem that happens in many big cities. You only have a limited budget, and yet at the same time you want to do a lot of things with your budget, and there's many different people asking for help with a different budget. And the highway in the distance is the FDR. And you can see that's like a very busy highway. A lot of times when the president comes into town, he'll take that highway because it goes right along Manhattan, and it's very easy to get access to the city that way. They'll shut it all down for him. He'll take the FDR to Midtown, and then from the Midtown area, the point in Midtown he wants to go to, he'll end up going to some other part of the city in Manhattan. And but really a beautiful place to be. Especially on a day like this. And then we'll take a quick look around. Like that is the what we're looking at is the Brooklyn area, and that was like the old Watchtower building that's been converted into a beautiful co-op. And you can see more buildings are going up. And there in the distance we can see Brooklyn Heights. That's like one of the best areas of Brooklyn, and in the city too. Like the views are just incredible from there, especially at night. It's just amazing to look at Manhattan from there at night. Manhattan, Lower Manhattan's all lit up. And a lot of times people who work in the financial district have chosen also to live in the Brooklyn area, because as you can see, it's right across the water. So that's 1 or 2 or 3 subway stops away. And the most recent trend in New York for a lot of these people that work in the financial district or that work in Lower Manhattan is to not have a 1 or 2 or 3 bedroom apartment in the city, but to buy a brownstone in Brooklyn. Especially some of the areas of Brooklyn that were not so favorable 20 years ago have become incredibly popular. Bushwick, Bedford-Stuyvesant, homes now are selling for $1 million or $2 million. And so it's just amazing seeing that. And then the downtown area also has a heliport. You can see how we have a helicopter in the distance that's trying to land. And there's like right near 55 Water Street is a heliport. And you can see that the beautiful helicopter just getting ready to land. And so, but it's really nice. Helicopters are landing, taking off. And one of the keys with New York is when the helicopters are in New York, they're doing everything by line of sight. So it's not like some air traffic controller is telling them where to go, how to go. so they all have to communicate with each other. And one of the more popular things these days is the water taxis. And so around 1900, 1895, 1890, a lot of boats were going through these waters back and forth to Brooklyn before they developed the bridges. And it's only in the last 15, 20 years that the ferry service has been redeveloped. It just makes a lot of sense. So you only have a certain amount of infrastructure, so it just makes sense to invest and have entrepreneurs develop the different services that allow that to take place. So again, we're here to take a look at the Brooklyn Bridge. We'll take another look at the Brooklyn Bridge just to see what it's like. And it's just a magnificent bit of architecture, part of New York. So for everyone to just take a look at this major part of New York, and it's just an incredibly beautiful bit of architecture for New York. You can see here how nice it is, and on a day like this, so many people are walking across it.